Hello everyone, welcome to Salesforce Helping Hand channel. My name is Rahul Prajapati. So today we are going to discuss which is recently one of my student face interview in Salesforce company. So that was the Salesforce consultant role, right? So he gave me a lot of questions. So I'm also going to share with you so that can help you guys. And along with it, I also have, case study like what kind of questions in Salesforce, specifically in Salesforce company, they ask the question. Okay, so let's start with me. I'm going to share my screen with you and let's discuss all the question one by one. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen, right? So let me open that. Yes, here we go. Sorry for the delay. Okay. So guys, the very first question they asked to that my student is explain the different dashboard component available in Salesforce. Some of the Salesforce dashboard component are explained below. Okay, so which I going to the detail in. So what first stage goes, if you can see, display a single value within a custom value range. Second one is metric. This is used to show a single pair of key and value. We can enter the metric label directly on the component by clicking the empty text field on the ground total. All metrics placed in the dashboard column would display the single component. Now come to the table. So table is nothing but are used to showing the report data in the format list. For example, top 5 or bottom 5 opportunities. Now come to the visual force. It is used for forming a custom component as a dashboard displaying information that is not available in the other component types, right? And chart is nothing but it used for showing comparison. Chart are divided in 6 types. So this questions, I mean, you should clear about the chart type. Okay, now the next question, which is very important, guys. So let's say we want to build one query method. We should be work for all the objects and query that field that user passes. So basically what they want is, so they want to use a dynamic you know query, right? Dynamic query is nothing but it should work for all the object and all the fields. So we just created public static list of object fetch record, right? String object API name, string field name, and integer limit record. So whatever limit records they want to pass, they can pass, right? Now, first we are checking if string dot is empty API name or this field API name. If anyone is of, you know, finding the is empty or null, you can say throw a new illegal argument exception, object API name or field API name are required, right? So then we are handling this try. So as you know, we always keep a main logic in the inside the try block, right? So this is our dynamic SOQL query. What we are doing is we are finding the select field name. So whatever parameter user passing where from therefrom they are calling this method. So they're definitely passing some fields name and they are also passing the object API name which they want to retrieve from the database, right? And also the limit. So that's what we have here. So anyone can call this method with their data set, with their set of fields with their object and with their limits, so they can able to get the data from Salesforce, right? So then we are having the database.query and we also have this exception handling here, right? So this is the method they asked to write this code actually. So my student was not able to write exactly the same, but yes, he tried and so fortunately he got selected, guys, right? So he'll be able to answer such of these questions. Okay, now let's move to the next question. What is the execution order when a DML operation occur in Salesforce? So when a record inserted or updated, Salesforce execute the following step. What happened? First of all, system validation rule before trigger, and then custom validation rule and duplication rule. Then after trigger, then all assignment tool and rotor response tool. Then workflow. Workflow is nothing but we have the flow now. Process builder escalation rules, right? Entitlement rules and post commit operation. So these are the order of execution in terms of database operations, right? What are the default filter in Salesforce? They are, you know, they asked this question. This was a short questions. So date default filter are the date filter, sorry, in Salesforce. So they may ask you the questions, what are the default filter in Salesforce available? You can answer that's nothing but the date filter. Okay. Now the next question they ask, advanced lightning component performance optimization. Okay. So your LWC component is slow. How do you improve its performance? So basically they want to understand if you ever work on LWC component, if you also work, what kind of complexity you have implemented or what kind of LWC component you have implemented in your previous project or your experience. So definitely, we'll give the answer like that. Like we can use lazy loading. We can optimize Apex method, and we can use platform event for real-time updates, right? And instead of polling and data loading, load data only when required. So lazy loading, nothing but it minimize the use of resources, right? Whenever it's required, then at that time only it's required. It's load the data from the database. Okay. Reduce component re-renders. How you can do it? Use track in LWC or wire with cache. Leverage storeable action in Aura to to cache data on the client side. Now they give one scenario. So the scenario is your company has a private sharing setting on the opportunity object. A requirement comes in where sales representative can see the own opportunities, manager should see the opportunity for their teams, and finance users should see all the close won opportunity. How would you implement this security model without using the code, right? The solution for it, guys. First of all, as you aware, role hierarchy is nothing but it's, top to bottom. Sorry, bottom to top, right? So if you want to give the access bottom to top, you can use the role hierarchy in a tree structure, right? So criteria-based sharing role, create a sharing rule that grant finance read-only access, optimizing where stage name is clause 1, because here you can define the condition, criteria-based, basically, okay? So we have to also define the OWD setting. So keep opportunity set to private to prevent unauthorized access, right? Because if you will keep it public, so anyone can see the everyone. I mean, uh, your we can say colleague can see your data, or everyone can see the others' data. Okay. So manual sharing is nothing but, as you aware, it's just a button. You can give the access whom you want to give, and Apex sharing, it's we don't need in this case. So but I'm just giving you the heads up so you will be able to understand it, right? So handling data skew in high volume environment scenario, your org has a single owner assigned to a how many accounts? 5 lakh account, causing log issue and performance slowdowns. How do you fix this? Again, I'm coming to the question. Your org has a single owner assigned to the 5 lakh accounts, causing log issue performance slowdowns. How do you fix it? Use a round robin assignment, distribute ownership across the multiple user. Not a single user should be provided the ownership, right? Use a public read only sharing rule. Reduce the record locking issue by not relying on the ownership based security. Use division record type of territories, split data locality by region, and archive old records, move use data to big object or external system. So there you have the more, we can say, database or like big size of database. So you will be manage it accordingly. Now the next question is, your LWC component display a list of account and allow user to search and sort them. However, user report that the component is slow, and when handling large data set, how do you optimize it? So the answer is, what we can do, we can use Aura enable cache is equals to true in Apex to cache frequently fetch data. So whatever data we are trying to fetch again and again, so we can keep it into the client side, not the server side. So that's what, our what we can say, less efforts would be from the system, right? So like that we can use it. So if you see this here and use Lazy loading pagination in WC, load only 50 records at a time, fetch more when the user scroll the, when we scroll and you will to see Salesforce also searching something, so then it only scroll. It is not like 20,000 record coming at the same time, right? So like that we can implement it, and we can use such code here to explain the how we can implement it, right? Now let's move to the next question. Lighting data table for efficient rendering. Avoid unnecessary DOM updates. Okay, so next question is scenario. Your Salesforce has 20 million record in the contact object. Reports and list view are extremely slow. How do you improve the performance? So what we have to do here is we have to use the what it's called index field in SOQL queries, right? Index is nothing but exactly that particular data which we need. So leverage singly table if queries involve multiple related fields. Request Salesforce support to create skinny tables to optimize the performance. Use big object for archiving, move all data to big object and external system. Batch processing for bulk update instead of mass DML, use batch OPEX. Avoid select queries, fetch only required field instead of using select ID, name, and email, right? A user complained that they can see a record but can't edit in. How do you troubleshoot this error? So again, the question is, let's say some Salesforce or sales user come to you and they are complaining, oh, I can only see the record in Salesforce, but I can't able to edit it. What should I do to it? Or can you help me to fix this? So basically you have to find some steps. A sales representative report that they can see the account but can't edit it, even though they own the related contact owner. So what you have to do is, first of all, check object level permission, profile level permission set, navigate to profile, ensure edit permission, it should be enabled to account. Second is check record level access OWD sharing rule. Third one is org wide default for account read only. They cannot, unless, okay. Third is nothing but check field level security FLS. If the field is read only, user can't update it. Go to the profile object setting, then field level security. Fourth one, nothing but check Apex sharing. If custom sharing is used, if an Apex class control the record access, review the logic. Okay. Now the next question is, guys, preventing a role assignment on closed opportunity. Users should not be allowed to assign a contact role to opportunities that are already closed, as it's unnecessary and could lead to data inconsistency. Avoiding duplicate contract role on the same opportunity should be prevented on the maintain the data integrity and avoid the confusion for the sales user and the other teams, right? So what we can do for it is, as per the, it was they asked to write a trigger for it. So that's what we have to write a trigger on which object opportunity contract role before insert, because we need to show an error to user, right? So before insert and before, what we are doing is, so on opportunity contact role, we have one, it's called trigger handler class. So that handler class we are calling from here, and in that handler class we have the method. So from here we are only passing the new list of record, and we are preparing some sets, opportunity ID, contact ID, and the opportunity map. So these all are the details we have. First of all, we are checking here existing roles map. So inside this, we have the string and opportunity contact roles. So now what we will do is, while we are iterating on each and every record which we are received from the trigger, we are checking and we are filling these sets for the contact role ID and for the opportunity IDs. Then what we are doing is, we are just checking if your opportunity is closed, then we are filling opportunity map and opportunity ID and opportunity. For the next thing, what we are doing is, we are doing the same like existing contact role, contact from the opportunity contact role, add contact ID in opportunity ID and opportunity ID in this particular ID, right? So then what we are doing is, we have this map. Inside this map, we are against that opportunity ID, we are filling the existing opportunity contact role. And then what we are doing is, we are having one more loop. What it's doing is, it's just checking new record and it's checking opportunity and try to get that particular opportunity, it is closed. Then add the error, you cannot create the contact role on the closed opportunity. And what we can do is, we can also string key, an opportunity ID, and then we have the contact ID. Existing role map contain the key, then add the contact role already exist on the opportunity. Okay, so these are the things we can have the here. Have you ever worked on deployment? If yes, then which tool did you use and how do you fix the merge conflicts? So basically, they want to understand is, have you ever worked, you know, on the side of deployment? If you get a chance to work on the deployment, then what kind of implementations you have done? What kind of merge conflicts? So they basically understand what kind of complex things you have done in your previous project or in your experience in the previous companies, right? So that's what it will show you, like how you are it will make you more kind of, we can say, okay, you have the more things from the others, like you are more in your CV you mentioned like I was a deployment and all, so they can want to understand it, right? A client has used 120% of their data storage limit in Salesforce and has reached out regarding the options. What you should suggest they do next? You should always check what is the talking of all the storage straight away. With the company profile, you will sometime find there is a particular component that is taking up majority of the storage. In some use case, it is incompatible app reduce the storage consistency. Often it is particular object that is causing a issue. I would suggest reviewing the use of object potentially archiving data. As a last resort, you can look into the purchase more storage from the Salesforce, a more expensive alternative, right? A client has a customer support team and sales team, both use the account object. All records completely private but contain fields that indicate the commissions a sales representative will earn. Therefore, a management does not want this field to visible to customer support user. What solution would you place in the achieve this? Answer: there are a couple of options to come in my mind. Soon as you have hide a field from the particular set of users, definitely page layouts and the record type. Then field level security to ensure that remove the field level security, definitely that can be done on the profile and permission set. So what do you mean by point to point integration? So these are some questions, guys, I'm giving to you. Make sure I'm just trying to giving you some homework. Try to research that and try to comment on the comment sections. I have a large section that displaying the LWC that change made to the JSON are not reflecting the UI. What can be reason? Do you know that LWC OSS? Do you have experience on Capado? Do you have an experience setting up the Capado pipelines? Wire versus imperative. Is wire reactive by default or not? How to make it wire method reactive? Okay. A clients want to integrate Salesforce with their legacy system, but limited documentation is available. What step would you take here? How to approach? So begin by analyzing the legacy system data structure, workflow, help the client technical team. Use Salesforce API REST SOP to establish communication between two systems, right? Develop a data mapping strategy to ensure consistent data transfer between systems and plan a pilot integration for testing before rolling out the full integration to avoid the error and disruptions. What are three metrics report every sales manager should be have, you know, in their sales work? So they have lead win loss ratio, they have lead and opportunity loss ratios, and they have a last activity report. So these are the by default they get in the system whenever any you create the user record. Now the next question is a client has used 120. I think that's we already covered. Now the next question is scenario based Apex challenge. So basically they given one challenge. A company has a custom order management system in Salesforce. When order is record is inserted, update in the system, fetch the related order line item, update related product inventory based on the quantity order, prevent recursive issue, use a static variable, handle governor limit efficiently, and implement the future call out to an external system. So what we did it, we just create the you know one handler class, order trigger handler, and inside this handler what we have to what we can say to prevent the recursion, we just using this variable. And then we have the method inside this class which is called process order. Inside this method we are receiving the new order list of order record, right? And then we are checking if it is already processed, then return is already processed true. And then we having these maps which are nothing but id and list of order line items. Then we are having the line items query, and we are using the new orders ID. So then what we are doing is we are checking containing this order, then fill this particular map. If it is already not that, then fill the like that. Okay. So update product inventory in bulk. What we need to do, map ID product map, and we are just also carrying the product here, I think, trying to get the values of particular ID and filling the product ID, right? And then we have list of product here, and then we are iterating the orders so that each order has the line items, and then we are checking this particular order contain this particular product. Then what it needs to be done, it's get to particular quantity of that particular product and fill this, add this particular into the list of product which need to be updated. So here we have the future call out to external stock validation system, update the product first of all here, and then we have this validation here in which we are having the thing. Can you identify any potential governor limits validation in the code? How would you? So this is a separate code, guys. What they are asking is, can you identify any potential governor limit violation in the code? How would you fix them? And what will happen in the trigger process 2000 bulk update? How can you prevent recursion more efficiently in the scenarios? What is wrong with the feature method implement? How can we optimize? If you were optimize this entire code maintenance best practice change should be make. Okay. So guys, this interview was gone around, I think 1 hour something. So there they ask a lot of questions. Some of are I'm not providing you here, but definitely in coming videos, I'm also going to give you with the answer. So hope you it will be helpful for you and it will help you while you are going to face the interview. And again, I'm requesting to you, if we are going to face any interview, please, take help for me, and we can also schedule mock interview for you. Also providing my LinkedIn ID, you can reach out to me and you can book your slot. Again, this is free of cost. I'll not asking anything for the same. So thank you from my end. Thank you so much for watch my videos. If you really like it useful, so don't forget to what is subscribe and share. Thank you.